When we think of magic today, we picture sanitized Hollywood fantasies, waving wands, clean sparks of light, and poetic incantations. But historical occult practices were overwhelmingly wet, sticky, and unhinged. They were rooted in the grim reality of flesh, blood, and bone. Historical folk magic focused on raw manipulation, specifically the use of physically repulsive spells designed to force someone's affection. A practitioner is instructed to take the severed tongue of a sparrow, encase it in virgin wax, and wear it under their clothes for 4 days. The final step requires keeping that wax-covered bird tongue under their own tongue while kissing the woman they want to control. Or an entirely different method, the practitioner carves specific demonic names, like Sathial and Obing, into the 4 pieces of a crabapple. Feeding this apple to the target was believed to induce uncontrollable sexual dreams, breaking down their psychological defenses. A sparrow's tongue and a carved apple might sound like desperate parlor tricks, but they reveal an early, dangerous impulse to bypass free will, setting a baseline for much darker escalations as the stakes for the practitioner increased. As practitioners moved past peasant crushes and began pursuing hard cash and social power, the ingredients shifted from animal parts to the direct exploitation of human bodily fluids. Practitioners would engage in sexual intercourse, but intentionally delay orgasm for as long as possible. The goal was to build up a massive reserve of physical ecstasy, and then channel that heightened energy entirely toward a specific material goal, like acquiring wealth. But the ritual didn't end with the act itself. The resulting mixture of fluids, referred to as an elixir, was collected. The text explains that to guarantee the success of a loan application or a monetary request, the practitioner would literally smear this elixir onto the paper and envelopes. Some practitioners even swallowed it to ensure good luck. By treating the human body as a source of energy and its fluids as a transactional currency, the magician attempts to force the universe into a favorable outcome. The same reliance on bodily rituals appeared within the French aristocracy. In the court of King Louis XIV, political survival required maintaining the king's favor at all costs. When the king's mistress, the beautiful Marquise de Montespan, felt her grip on power slipping to a younger rival, her desperation drove her straight into the Parisian occult underground. Historical records detail the deeply profane rituals she commissioned to keep her status. The Marquise participated in a literal black mass. She offered her own naked body to serve as the altar. To mock the Christian communion, the ritual substituted standard wine with the actual blood of an aborted child, which was also mixed with flour to create a parody of the Holy Host. Elite desperation acts as an ultimate catalyst. The Marquise's actions prove that the highest members of society would resort to the lowest forms of bodily blasphemy if it meant keeping their power. Cross the Atlantic to the underground practices of Caribbean Voodoo, and you encounter a radically different cultural aesthetic. Yet the underlying obsession with flesh, blood, and physical manipulation is identical. The ultimate escalation of magic is the quest for absolute, permanent dominion over another human being. The reality of zombification is far removed from film fiction. It is an entirely chemical hijacking of a human life. A sorcerer feeds a victim poisonous herbs, inducing suspended animation so they appear dead and are buried. Exhuming the body, the sorcerer administers a second mixture. The victim wakes in a permanent catatonic state, blindly obeying orders. These rituals, spanning centuries and continents, are tied together by a single objective: the attempt to bypass consent through physical desecration. From slipping bird tongues in mouths to exhuming graves, each practice reveals a willingness to subjugate another person's will entirely to satisfy one's own desire.